To download the app, ImoLaza makes it super easy. They've got a QR code in the book here you can utilize. I'll just pick the Apple one because I'm using an iPhone. And that'll take you directly to their app in the App Store, and we can just download that really quickly. If you're a new user, you'll have to create an account. Once you've registered, you'll have to go over to your email and just confirm the registration. After that's done, you can go back to your app and sign in. All right, so the two things we're gonna wanna do before we move forward with adding a controller. Number one is we're gonna wanna reset our ImoLaza controller here. So we're gonna hit this button, reset, and hold it for 5 seconds. And you'll see the light go blank and then load back up. And you'll get to that blinking green there, which means that it's searching for Wi-Fi. The second thing we're gonna wanna do is just make sure that our phone is connected to the Wi-Fi network that we're gonna want to set up with our Sprinkler controller. And lastly, just make sure that you have Bluetooth on your phone turned on, because that's what's gonna be used to make the initial connection between our phone and the controller to get things set up. Once you've checked all that, you can go ahead and just click that Add Controller button and then hit Next. And then your controller will pull up automatically through that Bluetooth connection. You can see mine here has the 16 zone ImoLaza controller. I'll click on that. Here it gives you a opportunity to rename the controller if you want to. I'll leave mine the same for now. And then now it's gonna want to get the Wi-Fi hooked up to the controller itself. So the easiest way to do this, obviously, is this green square here that says Get Phones Wi-Fi, and that's why we want to be connected to the network that we're going to use. So I'll click on that, hit Next, and it'll show you that what the current Wi-Fi network that you're connected to is, and then you can go ahead and put in that password, and then hit Connect. Once that's loaded in there, all we got to do now is hit Next. And now the controller will search for that Wi-Fi network and get connected to it. As it's connecting to the controller, you can see the lights change, and now we've got to the full green circle, and we've got the indication that our device was added successfully. Next, we'll have the option to add our address. So we'll go ahead and search for our address and put it in, and then just confirm it. And then it'll give you some options as far as the closest weather device that you want to go off of for the weather planning. Now here, it'll give you the option to finish here and come back later, or if you're ready to go ahead and set up your zones, you can just click that Set Up Zones. And then it's going to want you to go outside as you walk through this. And now it'll give you options to set up your 16 zones. Like we saw before, I only have 6 zones. So we'll just set up these first 6. And we'll test the zones. You've got some options here. You can click here to take a photo of the zone itself so you can remember exactly which area of the grass you're watering for each zone. And then you've got some more additional options here of exactly what you're watering, whether it's trees, shrubs, grass, and different kinds of landscaping. We'll go ahead and click grass for ours. There's some more detailed options here as well as far as root zone depth, crop coefficients, stuff like that. For most people, we're just going to leave these the defaults that it has here. Now you can go through exactly what type of sprinklers are there, whether it's drip lines, misters, spray heads, rotaries. All of the irrigation in my zones are all fixed spray heads, so I'll leave them the same as there. And then your soil type. And then the sunlight type. So a couple of my zones are definitely covered in shade a lot. And there's some that are always in the sun. So this is also helpful as far as with the automated planning as far as how much water it needs to get. And then lastly, you have your slope type, flat all the way to steep on how much runoff you're gonna have for each zone. So once you get through all that, now you've got that first zone set up successfully, and you can go through all your zones and do the same thing. Once I have my 6 zones set up, I'll go through for these other zones and just mark them as inactive by clicking this tap to disable button. If you ever do add more zones in the future, whether it's shrubs and drip lines or adding on to different areas of your yard or however you want to do it, you'll be able to come back in here and set these back up again. Once all of our zones are set up, we can go ahead and hit back and just hit finish. The first thing it might do once you've got it all set up is just ask you to update your firmware version of your controller itself. Now that's connected to Wi-Fi, so we'll go ahead and run through that process. Once the firmware has been updated, we now have got our fully functioning controller online and ready to dive into some of the different features and abilities of having this smart sprinkler controller from ImoLaza. If you're interested in getting a system yourself, I'll put a link in the description below. If this helped you out with your installation, please consider giving a like or even subscribing to the channel. And if you have any questions or recommendations on what I could have done better, please put them in the comments below and I'll try to respond to them.